Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, August 19, 2025. I am Rochelle Baptiste with the details. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Meteorological Services is closely monitoring a tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic, which is currently producing limited and disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Acting manager of the SVG Meteorological Services, Gregory Cato, said that environmental conditions appeared conducive for gradual development of the system. There is a possibility that a tropical depression could form toward the end of the week.
Pretty much just off the coast of Africa we are monitoring. It's at 21 west, which is still a bit of a distance away from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but it possesses a low chance of cyclone development. At this point, one of these waves is located around 38 west. It possesses a 60% chance of tropical cyclone formation, which is a medium chance. However, most of the activity associated with this wave is expected to pass north of our islands. It's supposed to be within the vicinity of the northern Leeward Islands around Friday. Again, this wave possesses a 60% chance or medium chance of tropical cyclone formation, and it moves pretty much west on a west-northwestward track away from our islands.
Cato further emphasized that while the system may develop in the coming days, no watches or warnings have been issued for SVG.
We may experience some warm conditions as well as some localized showers and some showers as well associated with the passage of this tropical wave as the weekend approaches. Again, we will continue to monitor and provide these updates as necessary, and we are currently not under any watches or warnings at this point in time. Stay tuned to the Met Services for the updates as they come at hand.
Residents are, however, advised to remain alert during the hurricane season and to ensure that their emergency preparedness plans are in place. Several persons, including the driver of a minibus, were rushed to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital this afternoon after sustaining injuries in a traffic accident that occurred at Gibson Corner shortly after 4 p.m. The minibus, which operates on the Kingston to Camden Park route, was reportedly heading toward Kingston when the accident occurred. According to reports, the vehicle veered off the road and crashed into a small hardware business located along the main road at Gibson Corner, causing significant damage to the establishment. Visible traces of blood were seen at the scene following the crash as the injured were transported for medical attention. Police officers and medical personnel quickly responded and were on site to provide assistance and secured the area. An investigation into the cause of the accident has been launched by the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. We will bring you more in our newscast tomorrow. And 11 individuals are now better equipped to assist in disaster and emergency communications following their successful completion of a one-week novice technician amateur radio course. The intensive training was jointly organized by the Climate Change Resilience Network, the CCRN, and the ULO Amateur Radio Association. The course featured both theoretical and practical sessions and included 18 participants from CCRN, the SVG Coast Guard, and several fishing boat operators. Chairperson of CCRN, Denise Stevens, said the training is part of the network's efforts to ensure its members are prepared to respond effectively during the ongoing hurricane season.
Are we ready for climate change? That is a question CCRN asks. And if you're not, we make you ready. We make you resilient by teaching you how to prepare yourself, how to prepare your family, and how to prepare those around you. Because as I said before, climate change affects all of us. We have seen just recently over the years where we have suffered tremendously from the effects of the volcanic eruption, 2013, the floods, Just recently, we had the Hurricane Beryl.
Stephen emphasized the importance of being able to maintain communication even when traditional networks fail, referencing the recent disruptions during Hurricane Beryl.
Ham operators often play a crucial life-saving role in providing effective and efficient communication support during disasters and emergencies. Now, training, of course, at the end of the training, there'll be an exam, after which you pass, you become a licensed operator. This will equip our members to adhere to the regulations, which will help them to maintain order and to prevent chaos and amateur radio bands. We never know when a disaster will strike, whether it is man-made or natural. And climate change is everybody's business.
Two participants who scored 100% on their final exams were each presented with a handheld radio set courtesy of the ULO Amateur Radio Association in recognition of their achievement. Their training was also supported by the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, and the Embassy of Venezuela, who facilitated aspects of the program. Organizers say the initiative is part of a broader effort to build national resilience through improved emergency preparedness and response capabilities. The Blues Festival is alive and well. According to Basil Charles, founder of the iconic event and head of the Basil Charles Educational Foundation, Charles made the comment during an interview with SVG-TV News on Monday, speaking on the sidelines of a scholarship handover ceremony hosted by his foundation. He noted that this year's festival received strong support from both locals and visitors, and plans are already on the way for next year's staging.
And the Blues is doing good work because since we started the Blues Festival, we have helped in one way or the other over 4,000 kids. And I think that's a good achievement. And we're happy to continue more and more to do our best and to do it to the best of it. As we raise more money, we give more to, as we said, some people who have gone through our foundation thing have gone to places like, they go to university. I remember during the pandemic, we had somebody in university, and they said they had to study from home. They would like to have a computer. I said, okay, buy your computer. This is going to be second time in Villa. We had it down at Mango's once or twice. So we were looking for a place, but now that I have my own place here, it would be here when it's in St. Vincent. And Beck, we had Plantation House, and Basil's by Mustique. And again, we thank all the media, all the people, all the kids, and everybody who have been, and the sponsors, musicians, and everybody who have been making this a successful foundation and successful festival.
The Blues Festival, which began 30 years ago, has become one of the premier music events in the country, attracting international and regional performers as well as hundreds of music lovers annually. It is known not just for its entertainment value, but also for its contribution to local tourism and culture. Charles emphasized that the festival continues to grow in significance and remains a staple on the Vincentian cultural calendar. Welcome back. Policing is categorized as a dangerous profession, says Corporal of Police Edson Smith, speaking during the Police on the Beat radio program on Monday, discussing the topic, the link between mental health and effective policing. Corporal Smith emphasized that both local and international research have shown that policing is not only physically demanding, but also mentally exhausting, with officers often working long hours under high-stress conditions.
Did some research on the topic and basically did a comparative study. Nothing too deep, but I mean something with enough depth that we could offer some important information this evening. And when we did our research, we discovered that this is a topic, Jack, that is discussed and researched, in depth in the region. Right. As a matter of fact, research in Jamaica finds that officers would often face various stressors, including high rates of depression that can impact well-being, job performance, and even affect public trust. So this is an issue that, as I said before, it's not only affecting police officers but first responders, and even I would even go so far as to say it has a broad reach, because any situation, any environment where it is very demanding and you don't have an effective outlet to vent your stress or the stressors, it becomes an issue, and it can have debilitating effects on your mental and physical health.
Smith also highlighted the unique challenges of working in a small island state like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where anonymity is nearly impossible.
Within St. Vincent, within our local context, is not necessarily the same. It would stress would manifest itself as in different ways, but uniquely we have to deal with where they say police officers are never off duty. Once you have that number assigned to your name, once you take that oath, you basically make a decision that you are on call 24 hours a day.
Right.
And this is often reflected in the physical hours that officers are required to perform during their duties. And these are compounded, considering that we are in a small island developing state. These are compounded with the fact that we may not have the wealth of resources that the regular that we'll see on like CSI Miami and Law and Order, where you go into these precincts and you see all this activity, all these screens, and they could solve a crime in 48 hours and stuff. We also have a very close-knit society. So with that close-knit nature, that a lot of times the people that we arrest or we come into contact with, when we so-called quote-unquote off duty, we still have to face those same people. So there's no true thing unless you go overseas and go on vacation, spend some time. There's no true shut-off switch.
In addition to the external pressures of the job, Smith pointed out that internal issues such as poor management and office politics can make the policing experience even more frustrating for some officers.
Even stress from untrustworthy individuals, whether it is your colleague or even situations where you're poorly supervised, where you feel that the pressure is even compounded because it's a situation where there's no proper structure in place to carry the duties, or everything is ad hoc, laissez-faire. These are very rare situations within the organization, but they do occur, and they can produce a significant amount of stress. And then there's the office politics. We know about it. It's unspoken. We talk about it within the organization, but there's always the issue of promotions and performance metrics and who not doing this and who not, these things can cause a lot of high stress. Make the work experience a little more rigid and frustrated.
The Police on the Beat program aims to educate the public about the law enforcement work and build better community police relations. Police here are continuing investigations into the homicide that occurred in Paul's Avenue on Saturday, August 16, 2025. According to a news release issued by the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the shooting took place at approximately 12:34 a.m. Police officers were promptly dispatched to the scene where they discovered the motionless body of a male with what appeared to be gunshot injuries. The deceased was later identified as 32-year-old Gasroy Ferguson, also known as DJ Swagger of Lago Height. He was pronounced dead at the scene by the district medical officer. Meanwhile, tributes continue to pour in for the popular disc jockey. His employer, Boom FM SVG, has created a memorial display just outside the station's building in honor of DJ Swagger. Staff members remained deeply shaken by the loss and are calling for justice, noting that the DJ was shot just a few meters away from his workplace. In response to the incident, police officers have been stationed at the entrance of the street where the shooting took place as investigations continue. The SVG-PF is appealing to members of the public who may have information about the incident to come forward and assist with the investigation. Meanwhile, the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force, SVG-PF, is investigating the circumstances surrounding a house fire that occurred in Calder Ridge on Sunday, August 17, 2025. A news release from the SVG-PF says at approximately 6:39 p.m., police received reports of the fire and the fire brigade was promptly dispatched and upon arrival met the structure engulfed in flames. Water from the fire appliance was used to extinguish the blaze. The dwelling, a 10 by 10 plywood structure with a galvanized roof, was owned and occupied by a 65-year-old retired male. The building and all its contents were completely destroyed. No injuries or fatalities were reported in relation to the fire. The SVG-PF is appealing to the public for any information that may assist in the investigation. Persons are encouraged to contact the police at control at 457-1211, any police station, or speak with any police officer you trust. Investigations are ongoing.